it's Anya here, and I am back with another video for Ophelia Talks Crochet. This tutorial is part of the series for our anniversary blanket. We are making it to celebrate 10 years of stitches. We are looking at all the lovely stitch combinations I have used in various projects during the last decade on the channel, and we are combining them into one blanket. Over the last few weeks we have been making squares. These squares were based on the Anna square. We have called it that because this was one of my grandma's favorite patterns to make. Now we looked at 9 different stitch combinations that I have used over the last 10 years, and we have poured them into the format of the Anna square. We have now made 54 squares, and we are going to put them together in a grid of 6 by 9 squares. This will give us a blanket that's a good size for a single bed, but also for just sitting under and watching television or even crocheting. I have provided you with 2 tables, the colors of the squares. So go and find the table of your brand of yarn and lay out your squares ready for joining. You can take a screenshot here or follow the link in the description box below, which will take you to the written pattern on my blog. Okay, so I have laid out my squares on my desk according to the diagram in the pattern, obviously. And I am now going to make sure that, first of all, there is no same color next to each other. Second of all, that there is no same design next to each other. And I also want to make sure that my squares are upright so that my stitches all start with a base and go up in that direction. I also want to make sure that see, is this the back or is this the front? So some of them will have a double crochet row that runs with its front towards you, and I think that's the front. This here would be the back, because here the majority of the stitches show their back. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make sure that, see, look, this is the back, this is the front. I don't know, some of them don't show this, some of them do, some of them look better on one side than on the other. So that is what you need to do before you get started on joining them, on of course placing them permanently. So make sure you take this time to lay them out, even like this. I know they're overlapping, but it still gives you an idea of the colors. I couldn't get the 6th row on there, but I have them beside me here on the floor, so I can still make sure everything looks fine for joining and for making sure that you know, you have them in the right order, the right side up, the right direction up. Also make sure your rows are all running in the same direction. And to look at the colors and the designs, this is quite an easy setup. So once you're happy with this, let's get started on showing you how to do the joining. So I have here in front of me 2 columns, and these are the ones that we're going to join first. So we're going to do a vertical join first here, then there, and so on. In total you will be doing 5 vertical joins. And so we're going to get started here. Let's first of all make our slip knot so that we are ready to get going. Insert your hook. Now you take your first 2 squares here, you pinch them together like this, so with the good sides on the outside, and you're going to find those boxes in the corners that we made on each square. And of course here, this is when these boxes that we have made all around each square are going to come in very handy, because they mean that we are going to be able to join these squares really easily and quickly. So let's get started with inserting our hook into that first square on your square here and into the second square there as well. And we are going to do 2 single crochets. Now, why 2? Just so that you have a good secure start. Then we're going to chain 1, and now you're going to go to the next box in here, but of course you go in there, but you come out in that same box, but of course on the other square, and we do a single crochet. So now you're doing a chain 1, you skip to the next box, you go into there, do a single crochet, chain 1 to the next box, single crochet. Now don't do this too tightly, make your stitches nice and loose, because you have to open up your squares and you will need the space in the yarn, in the stitches, to be able to do that. And you hold your squares in such a way that these boxes tally up, and that way of course it's going to be easy to find the locations where to place your stitches. So here we're at the last box, we place our single crochet in there, then you chain 1, and then you're going to just have a look to see what it looks like. So now my join is standing up, as you can see, but I know I have done my single crochet loose enough to be able to do this, and now my join is nice and flat. So this is how it works for joining these types of squares, and this is the back. Yeah, there is not really a front or a back to this blanket, except for now we are making the black join here, and for me this will be the front, although I don't mind either look. So now that we have done the first 2 squares, we're going to do the same thing for these ones here. Pinch them together so you have them with the good sides on the outside. We've done our chain 1, and that means we've made a little opening here to allow for the horizontal join later on. Okay, and now we do the same thing, although we are not going to do 2 single crochets here, we only do those single crochets at the very ends, just for security there, for safety, for extra strength. And here we're just going to continue with our single crochet, chain 1, and then into the next box. Make sure you get into the next box here, don't skip any boxes, don't go into the actual fabric here, and just keep tallying up your boxes all along this vertical line. And then here, yeah, into here, into there. And if you have like these curly corners, they will soon be sorted out by your join, so don't worry about that. Now I do not steam or block my squares. I try to avoid doing that at all cost, but you know, afterwards if you finished your blanket you could do that, but I'm not worried, and for me it's fine. You know, it works out and it will look nice when it is joined anyway. Make sure your squares do not get twisted along this first vertical join. It is very likely to happen, so it is best if you keep it on a desk or a table so things do not get twisted. But if they do, make sure you straighten them out again and check the color table. So yes, this is how I am going to continue. I am now going to continue doing the rest of this join. Make sure you finish with 2 single crochets at the end of the join, and then I will have to do all the other joins as well. So in total you're doing 5 vertical joins. Here I have done 4 vertical joins and I just needed to see the progress, and I think it is looking lovely. So 1 more join to go, and as you can see, yes, there are of course gaps in between my squares because of course we've only joined one side. So this is what the blanket looks like when you have done 4 joins. So let's do the last join and then I will show you how to do the horizontal join. So now that I have done my vertical joins, I'm going to start doing my horizontal joins, and to be honest, they're exactly the same. So we've got our loop around our hook. We're starting in those first 2 boxes here of the first 2 squares that need to be joined. So this is going to be my first row. I'm doing a second single crochet just to, make it stronger, and then we chain 1 and we go and do our single crochet in the next box. Of course now it's a lot easier because all our squares are joined, are connected already into the blanket, so it is one piece. So now we just need to do these 9 shorter horizontal joins. So here you get to the last box, so you're going to place your single crochet in there, chain 1, you go over your join from the other direction, and then you place your first single crochet into the first box. So the boxes on the corners are used twice, once in each direction. So I will see you now when you have done your 9 horizontal joins. So there will be a clear front and back to this blanket, and this is showing you the blanket on the back, and you will still see some of the join but not the full lines. And this is the blanket on the front. You will see that there are quite distinct lines, and of course those are your joining lines. Don't forget to share your progress in our Facebook group Ophelia Talks Crochet, because we all want to see what progress you are making. I hope you will enjoy joining these squares together. Soon you will be rewarded with a wonderful blanket. So keep going, and I will see you in the next video where we will do the border. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!